Hi, Naptime friends. It's Tish with Naptime Creations. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Today we're going to be doing two ocean pours. And the first one, I'm going to be using the Res Angel White, the Res Apatite Blue. This one's really pretty, you guys. It's like got a green undertone. It's a deep blue, and it's a metallic epoxy paste. And I'm also going to be using the Res Steel Blue. And these are all epoxy pastes. I had resin on my gloves, so that's why I'm holding the bottles all weird. So that's all I'm going to be using for this ocean piece. And I just wanted to show you guys how pretty that apatite blue is. Can you see how beautiful and shimmery that is? And I used my Promarine tabletop epoxy. I mixed that up for 3 minutes off camera. And Promarine is a 1-to-1 ratio, so that means you have a part A and a part B. You want 12 ounces of resin, you use 6 ounces of part A, 6 ounces of part B, and you mix that up for 3 minutes. So this ocean actually has 2 layers on it. And I had nothing but trouble when I was trying to film those, so I apologize I don't have the video for the previous layers, but honestly, we're covering all of this up, so it's not really applicable. I mean, you could do what I'm going to show you what I did. Like you could do a previous layer just like this if you wanted to, or you could do what I'm going to show you today, and I'm honestly just basically covering the whole thing up anyway, so it's just like starting from scratch, honestly. So I'm just going in with my apatite blue and putting that all over the top. And then I'm going to go in with my steel blue, and I'm going to make sure, I get all my resin out of my cups, and then I'm going to take my hand and smooth these all out. And for the sand, what I did is I just picked up a pack of sand at my local Dollar Tree, and you can mix that in with some glue and just lay it down on your board. And then it'll dry like that, and then you can put resin on top of it, and then that makes the sand look wet, which is really nice. It's a nice effect. So see, I'm just going in with my gloved hand, and first I'm going to smooth out that apatite blue, the dark blue, and I'm going to make sure, I don't use my same hand to do the steel blue because I don't want to quite blend them together yet. So I'm taking my other hand and smoothing out that steel blue up to the line of sand there. And then I'm also going on the edges too. You got to make sure your edges are good and covered. I like to have my edges pretty smooth. When I first started out doing resin, I liked the look of drips running down the edge, but now I kind of more like the smooth look of just the edge being blended without drips. What do you guys like? Do you guys like to have drips on the edge, or do you like it to be nice and blended? Let me know down in the comments. So here I'm just taking my hand and I'm blending these two colors together, kind of starting at the steel blue and then just taking my hand in a swirling motion and moving it up into the apatite blue. And see, I'm doing the edges again, making sure they're nice and covered. And I also wanted to say thank you guys so much because I am at 1,000 subscribers. I am just so pumped and excited. I can't believe it. When I started my channel, I never thought I would have 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. You guys are the best, honestly. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So I think I'm going to do that on Wednesday's video. So be sure you subscribe so you don't miss information on how to enter the giveaway. So here I'm just going in with my heat gun on high heat, popping bubbles. Make sure you get the edges of your board as well. And I used a nozzle attachment that came with my heat gun. It's kind of like tapered and makes the hole for your heat gun a little bit smaller so you can really get in there and pinpoint where you're pushing that resin. So here I'm just going in with my Angel White and I'm just drawing a line right up against the sand. You see that? Just nice and easy, a little line, and this is going to be the start of the wave. And when I do my white, I dip my popsicle stick in my cup and I start off my board, and then I run my line across the board. If you start straight away on your board, you're going to get like a kind of like a drop look, and you don't want that. You want it to be a straight fluid line. So, you know, stick your popsicle stick or whatever you're using to pour your resin in your cup, start off your board, and then run it across. And that was just plain clear resin that I put up against the white. And I'm just going in with my heat gun on high heat here and pushing that white over that clear resin and into the steel blue to make my wave. And that's it. No more heat than that. It literally took like 30 seconds to make those waves. That's all you need to do. You don't want to overheat your resin. If you do that, your lines won't stay, and then your waves won't look as nice. And the clear resin, putting the clear resin next to the white really helps push that white and make a wave. So here I'm just going in with my angel white and kind of just filling in any spots where I want white to make it more kind of like a foamy wave look, I guess. So I'm just going straight across the board here along the sand line with the angel white. Now I'm going to go in and do my next little waves. See how I start off the board? So I, grab my cup, stir my resin a little bit, and then run it, start off the board, and then run it across. That's going to help you get a nice straight line, and you're not going to have any funky drops on there. Then I'm going to take my clear, just like that, same thing, run it right up against that white, and then I'm going to take my heat gun, kind of at an angle, and move those waves around. But don't add too much heat. Don't really overwork it. You gotta fight the urge to overwork it, I guess. And that over to the side is just a little rag with isopropyl alcohol. I use that to wipe my hands off before I grab my heat gun. If I have resin on my hands, then that way I don't have to change my gloves as much. I do still change my gloves quite a bit when I do resin. I don't know, it's just one of those things. I feel like I always need to change my gloves for some reason. You can see I have 2 pairs of gloves on right now. So now I'm going to do another wave. Same thing. Add my white, put the clear right up next to it, and then heat it up a little bit. Not too much heat. Here I'm going to take my clear and create depth. You can do that on any of your pieces as long as there's a color underneath. So like let's say you primed your board and you painted it with acrylic paint in like dark blue or black. And then, your paint's all dry, of course, and then you pour your layer of resin down. You can use the clear to create depth because that clear is pushing that resin that you have poured out of the way so you can see what's underneath. And that'll work on anything as long as you have basically anything but white as your base. It doesn't work too good with white, but if it's a darker color, then it works awesome. So I just went in and moved that wave a little bit, not adding too much heat. And now I'm going to take some of my angel white and just add to this wave here, just to make it a little bit more white at the base. I decided I didn't like how the rogue wave at the top of the piece was looking, so I just went ahead and added some more white to make it an entire wave going across the entire board up there. Now I'm going to take my clear, lay that down right next to my white again, and move my white over that clear to make a wave. My apatite blue kind of got pushed up onto the base of the wave, and I didn't like how that was looking, so I'm just going in with my Angel White, just trying to cover up that blue that was up on the base of the wave. And I still wasn't satisfied after that, so I'm just going to take my finger and do a finger swipe and just blend that out. See, I like how that's looking better. So I'm going to just continue across the entire wave, just do a little finger swipe and blend everything out. And you can see how my finger kind of created a void in the resin there. Don't worry about that. Resin is self-leveling, so it's just going to level itself back out, and that won't be there when it's all nice and cured. I decided to go ahead and do that on all my waves. And now I'm going to make the kind of like the first wave go all the way across the board too. I didn't like how the half waves, I guess you could call them, were looking, so I decided I'm gonna move this all across the board as well. And here I didn't put any clear next to my wave. Can you see it's harder to move that white without the clear next to it? So the clear really does help. And what I did at the top of the board, my head was in frame so you couldn't see. I took my finger from basically the top of the board just to the top of that wave and blended the colors out just to give it a little bit more depth. And here I'm just taking my hand, running it across the bottom of my piece here so I don't get any resin drips on my floor as I'm taking it to my dust-free zone. And I'm going to call this guy done. I'll show you what it looks like in 24 hours. Here, I think I just saw an air bubble, so I was just popping that, making sure all little bubbles are popped. No air bubbles. We don't like those. And check out, you can see the shimmer of the metallic epoxy paste. So pretty. And here's my Psychedelic Swipe from my last video. This is done in acrylics. If you haven't seen that, I will link it down below and put an iCard right here if you want to check that out. It had some cool cells on there. I think I'm going to embellish this one with starfish because it really looks like an alien starfish to me. I think that would be cool. So now I have some leftover resin, so we're just going to jump right in and pour over this guy. This was really pretty, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So I'm going to also add suncatcher and Mayron gold to this one, and just use my leftover resin from the ocean, you know, the angel white, the steel blue, and the apatite blue. So here I'm just taking any drips that ran off of my ocean, putting that on my vinyl record here. And I am just going to smooth that out with my gloved hand, trying to get resin all over this bad boy. And I'm going to start adding my colors. This is my steel blue. I'm just going to pour it straight across there, just trying to cover up that record with resin. And to prep this record, all I did was take it outside and took some 150 grit sandpaper, scuffed up the surface a little bit, if I can speak properly, and then I took a rag with some isopropyl alcohol, cleaned it off, made sure there was no sanding dust on there, and then I was ready to pour on it. So I just added some suncatcher on there along with my apatite blue. I did have some of that clear resin left over, you know, that I was adding next to my waves. So on my first ocean pour, you know, so I took that clear and divided it into 2 cups and made the suncatcher and the Mayron gold. So I'm just going in with my finger and blending this all out. You guys, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I love to use my hands and do some finger painting in resin. So I'm just doing some swipes here until I get it blended how I want, and I'm making sure that those edges are nice and covered too. So I'm going in with my angel white here, just making some accent lines. Same thing with my Mayron gold, not adding too much gold because the gold will take over quickly if you add too much. Now I'm going to take my heat gun on high heat, just kind of go over my entire piece to pop some bubbles. And now I'm going to move that angel white and that Mayron gold around. And the angel white and the Mayron gold will give you nice cells and lacing. That's what I love about those two products. They're awesome. And that Mayron gold sits on top really nice and reflective, and it's just really beautiful. I love it. So I'm not adding too much heat. You guys can see that's it. That's all I did to heat it up. It literally took less than a minute. Now I'm just taking my finger, running it, making sure there's no drips on the bottom. I decided I wanted to add a little bit more gold right here. So I'm going to take my heat gun on high heat and just move that around just a little bit, not too much. Don't want to overheat it. And that's it. I'm going to call this guy done too. I will show you what it looks like in 24 hours. And here's the first one. Check it out. That beach looks just nice and wet from the resin. It's pretty cool. And the metallic shimmer, I was trying to show you guys, it's so shimmery and beautiful. Resin is just so hard to, it's so hard to capture its beauty on camera. Check out this awesome section right here. It's my favorite section with those cells from the angel white. And I will link all the information where you can get Lorez products down below. If you're in the US, you can get them from Laura's Art Corner on Facebook. She has a store where she sells Lorez products, so it saves us on international shipping because that can be expensive. And Laura also has a channel. She does awesome resin art, so I will link that down below and put an iCard right here. If you want to go check out her channel, please do, and subscribe and tell her Tish said hi. And I love, love, love this wave right here. It's like one of those rogue waves that I was talking about earlier. It's got some really cool wispy waves going on. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my video on Wednesday talking about my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Yay! I think the apatite blue and the steel blue made a really nice combination for an ocean. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And here's the second ocean pour that I made. This one's really awesome. I love it. It's my favorite of the two, probably because it has gold. You guys know I love my gold. And the Mayron gold, you can get that off of Amazon. That's the gold that I used. And it's really affordable. It's like $9 for the bottle and it'll last you forever. I will link it down below. I love this little section right here with the angel white and the Mayron gold. And you can see the nice little cells popping up through there. Which one do you guys like more, the first ocean or the second ocean? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and see which one you like more. So what do you guys think I should do for my giveaway? I have a bunch of sets of coasters that I've made that I could give away. I have some acrylic pours I could give away. I have a few pieces of resin art. My resin drip magnets, I have some of those I could give away. So let me know in the comments what you guys would like to possibly win. I think I'll probably do like 3 winners. And then, yeah, more information will be in my Wednesday video about the giveaway. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And if you're new, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to go check out Laura's channel, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Bye, guys.